our blues brother here, rest of the blues brother. Well, doesn't he look cool? How cool is that? So, Rob, tell us a little bit about Desi and your guys' story of how this all came about.
Wow, me and Des, we've known each other about 36 years now, and like we've just lived together.
Finish your shit back there, guys. Bit of respect, come on.
So we've known each other for 36 years, and I've been best friends with her for a young son, godfather to all her kids, and we were just, if there was trouble around, we were always involved.
So close family friends, yeah?
Very close friends.
And then you tell me something happened.
Yeah, about 15 years ago, Des got this terrible news that she's got cancer, and it was, for me in particular, having your best friend, you can't help her, you can't do anything for her. You can be there, but you don't really understand what's actually going on, not in the mind anyway. So for me, I sort of thought it was just a big bad dream. But for Des, her whole world was falling apart. She had no one to turn to. Doctors really couldn't give her any advice to where she should go. So for me, I can't describe how hard it was for me. I'm sure it was 10 times harder for Des, but
for anyone going through any traumatic experience, it's hard, especially when you get the big C, you're told you got cancer, your world must fall apart.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely falls apart, yeah, for sure.
And so how did that bring about the charity without a limit?
There's just one day, got out of bed and thought, I'm not going to let this beat up. So Without a Ribbon was born, and our goal is to put people, cancer patients together so they can both talk to each other and bounce off each other. So for us, I can't describe it. I had it all written down on a piece of paper, but I've lost the paper.
That's all right. From the heart,
yeah, well, we just want to put peer-to-peer support, basically, is what Without a Ribbon is all about. So putting them all together so they can bounce off each other, so they've got something to talk to. It's easy for me to say to Des, they'll be okay. But unless you're in their shoes, you can't. You physically, mentally, you can't understand what they're going through. So having Des looking up at other people with like-minded cancers, then they can bounce off each other and they can support each other. And because I don't know what to say, I'm very bad in the sand for like 6 years.
Oh, right. So Des, this was your baby. Obviously, you were diagnosed with an incurable cancer. So did everyone at the back hear that? The reason why we're here and supporting this charity Without a Ribbon, because this amazing lady here was diagnosed with an incurable cancer, and less than 100 people in Australia have been diagnosed with it.
Yeah, that's correct.
So tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so rare cancers affect people, less than 100 people a year in Australia. So to give you some idea, could anyone with rare cancer in this room come forward? Oh, there's one.
Okay.
I'm two. Okay, and there in this room is 120 people. We would be the 2 in 200,000 people.
Wow.
Imagine how many people that is in that room. So that's what happens when you're diagnosed with a rare cancer. What is the chance of us finding each other?
In that 200,000 across the nation.
That's right. And so for myself, thank you, Kylie, by the way. So for myself, when I was diagnosed, obviously I did what everyone does in their Church Cancer Council, and I needed advice. And so in my case, my cancer was in my saliva glands within the top palate, and so I was put in head and neck cancer. I then found out many years later that there was a lady with my cancer, but it was in her girly head, so the G-rated version was this room. But she was put in the girls. Yeah, in the
women's cancer, ovarian cancer, or something like that.
That's right. We didn't even know each other existed, but our cancer actually went through the nervous system. So, of course, when we sat in those groups were talking about their 5-year survival rates. When they got to 5 years, operation. For Kylie and I, we're unlikely to get a reoccurrence until after 5 years. So, you know,
It's like a ticking time bomb.
that's right.
Right.
They're talking about getting chemo. Chemo doesn't work for our cancer. So all the treatments and everything that was being offered were not applicable to us. So to give people in the room an idea, I am 15 years, which sounds wonderful if that was the full stop. I've actually had 72 operations in the last 15 years, and today, as we went down in the hotel room, I was booked in for another biopsy because I've now got a lump that's come up in my tear duct.
Wow.
I don't have an upper palate. I do not have a jawbone. All of this is fake. They've used the bone from my leg and they've actually hinged it off my cheekbones to create what looks like a jaw, which now has magnets in it, and I now have a prosthesis. You won't know because none of you've met me before. I didn't have this list before, though my best thinking husband gets quite sexy.
Wow.
But
So you, like that's like a traumatic journey. You're going to need support. You're going to need
Exactly.
care, expertise. So where do you find that? Is
Yeah.
that where Without a Ribbon comes in?
that's exactly
Right.
right. So when we, with rare cancers, go to a doctor,
Yeah.
the doctor will say, I've never heard of that cancer before. The common statement I say back to them now is, well, thank God one of us has. And I usually then have to tell them about it, what they need to do, what we need to look at.
So Q, Without a Ribbon, that's where you guys
That's
come in.
right. So now, Without a Ribbon, we hope that people will find us when they first are diagnosed. So we do an oncology conference once a year with the nurses because they're our front. They're the ones that are
They're the
meant to
first
be-
port of call, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if they find someone with a rare cancer and they can say, hey, contact these guys straight away. Now, we can't, we're lucky if we raise $20,000 a year. That's the truth.
Right, so every cent that we get raised tonight will go to you guys, and that makes it part of that 20,000.
Absolutely.
Now, I run my own charity separate to this, totally different. $20,000 in the charity world is bugger all. You can do very little. But what do you guys do? Because you've got an incredible team.
Yeah, so we've hooked up with Griffith University. I did maybe, talk to them about it. I want them, I don't know if they can help us out. So we get our third year uni students now, the medical uni students, and what they do is they do an internship with us. And in that internship, they'll actually do research for that rare cancer. Now, it's not research about how to cure it, but it's research about treatment options that are available, what trials might be going on, other charities that might be able to assist them. So that when someone with a rare cancer comes to us, and some rare cancers are so rare that they affect one person every 5 years in Australia. So when they come to us, we can now say to them, look, here's a whole lot of information
And latest data.
that is data
Wow.
that you don't have to research anymore and that you can actually take to your doctor.
Right.
And so this might be available. So we have that and we offer that to our rare cancer warriors. And
Yep.
you can ask me about that.
Yep.
Our rare cancer warriors, that's what we call them. And we also obviously do the oncology conference, which that costs us about $5,000 out of pocket.
Yep.
All of our board members and volunteers pay for everything themselves. Every volunteer that I have with me tonight has paid their own hotel accommodation, their own ticket tonight. Joe and I have come down from Queensland,
Yeah.
so
And that's crazy because most charities, give them a round of applause. Because most charities run on the 80-20 system where 80% of their money goes to the actual charity work, 20% goes on the administration costs. 100% goes on administration for you guys and running it, collecting the data for the third year Griffith University students, being able to then provide that research to people who are diagnosed with rare cancers the doctors don't even know about.
Yeah.
So that's quite amazing. So, and let's go to you said you're warriors, you're not survivors. They're not survivors, they're warriors.
Yeah.
So the Without a Ribbon, there's the logo, means
So Without a Ribbon is war.
War,
And why?
I like that.
Because we are warriors and we fight our battle every single day. I'm about to hit 73
Wow.
operations percentages and I'm not giving up, never
Wow.
will.
Amazing.
And that's what we try to encourage our warriors to do.
wow. Amazing, fantastic. Well, It's such an honour for me. It was a last minute ring in through Project 76 to come in at MC because obviously Angry couldn't do it. But what an honour to be able to stand on stage with you guys and bring awareness about Without a Ribbon and the stuff you do. So such a privilege. Give another round of applause, guys. Every cent raised tonight will be going to them. And you'll see more on the screens around the venue, more ways to donate. So please, dig deep. I know you already have and you've paid for the tickets to come, but if something has really touched your heart, make sure you talk to Desi and Ron, pull them aside, have a chat, get to know them.
Any of the nuns.
Any of the team. Make sure you have a chat with them. And I just thank you guys for all the work that you do, and good luck with the 73rd operation. And you're an encouragement and inspiration to us all. Thank you so much. Good to hear you guys.